everyone, it's Angela, and I am here to do my review of Scream Season 1, Episode 3, called Wanna Play a Game. So if you follow my Pretty Little Liars videos, you will know that I have just adopted doing a 5-minute recap of the program and then getting more in-depth with my theories. And I think that is going to be how I'm going to review Scream from now on for you guys, because last week's review was super long. So if you like the way that I do this, be sure to let me know down in the comments, or if you want me to talk longer about the episode, even though we've all seen it, I could do that as well. This is just something I like better, but your input makes my channel awesome, so I would really appreciate it. So I'm going to pull up my timer. I have 5 minutes and a couple seconds on the clock to pull up my notes, because I don't do that with my Pretty Little Liars videos, and I kind of cut myself short. So I'm going to go ahead and start and go to my notes page, and we are going to jump right into this episode. In the very beginning of the episode, there's this random couple being killed. The girl is being killed first, and then it's the guy, and it looks like the guy's at some sort of toga party, and then we see Ghostface stab him through the eye with a tree branch. And we find out from Noah, who is talking to, I believe her name is Paige, the journalist or the blogger or whatever she is, that these were actually Brandon James's first victims Halloween night of 1994, and their names were, not that it matters, Dara Alden and Brett Keener. And the guy, Brett, looked a lot like Matthew Lillard, so I thought they were gonna like be spoofing something in the very beginning. I was like, that's so freaking funny. But Noah and Paige are talking about it, and Noah said, he thinks that doesn't think that someone puts on a mask just one time, and the question now becomes who's going to be next. And then we go to Emma's mother and the sheriff, who I can never remember their names, Daisy and Sheriff, and they're going to open a murder investigation into Rachel's death. And later on, Aubrey attends the wake, and Emma walks in, sees Aubrey examining the news and seeing if it's even possible, and Emma breaks the news to Aubrey that there's going to be a murder investigation. And she knew that, Rachel didn't kill herself. Jake is in the woods being a total sketch. He digs up this box and it's empty. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with Jake? He goes to confront Will about this missing money. He thinks Tyler has taken this money. And Will admits, no, I did it. I don't have rich parents. And if somebody finds out about what we're doing, it could jeopardize my scholarship. It could jeopardize everything like that. So he's telling Jake to shut the operation down. And I really don't know what's going on, but we found out later in the episode that Nina and Tyler started this operation, and I don't know what it's about. Maybe they were blackmailing people in town, but that's the only thing I can really think of. I mean, they had videos of Nina on their computer, so it would stand to say that they were filming other people as well. Emma's getting texts all throughout this episode, I'm assuming from Brandon James, but we never see them at all. And Kieran's offering to come over to Emma's with the Brandon James files. Kieran is at Emma's, and he gets a text and visibly pale, saying his dad's on the way home and he's got to go. Emma's like, why? So you won't be arrested? He's like, wouldn't be the first time. And I'm just like, ooh, okay. And Emma figures out about Daisy and that it's actually her mother, while someone appears to be watching from outside. So Jake is having a conversation with Brooke, saying that maybe Brooke's not the one on top. Maybe it's her mysterious college boyfriend, and Brooke is appearing to be thinking. Emma confronts her mother, and her mother won't tell her anything. Go figure. And apparently the sheriff is looking for her father. And then I wrote in my notes, oh, hell no. Noah was with Riley and just said, I'll be right back. And I was just freaking out because I was afraid for Noah's life. Emma gets a call from Ghostface saying he'll answer any questions she has when he's ready. He wanted her trust, and he's the only one telling her the truth about things. She tells him she's done playing games and then he sends her a text that says, I'll find someone else to play with. Riley gets a text from Tyler, and she's telling the group about it. She doesn't think Tyler did anything wrong, but the group wants to go to the cops, and Riley's very against this. They eventually do go to the cops, and the cops set up this meeting where they have a woman that looks kind of like Riley with a hood on go to the park in a public place, and when a person shows up, the cops take him down. They were paid $200 to go to this park. It was some random dude, and he had a message that said, "Nice try," and a sketch of the ghost face drawing. So Jake and Will are very against each other over this whole mysterious situation. Will is holding a knife behind his back, and Jake has a shovel. Brooke gets a text from her teacher saying, come to your hotel room. I'll be waiting. And I'm like, girl, it's from the killer. Daisy comes in and tells Emma and Riley that Tyler didn't show up. And just then Emma realizes Brooke has run off. She'd probably get slashed by the killer. So Emma and her mother leave. And she's texting Ghostface saying, don't hurt my friends. He says, choose or I will. No, good girl or the bad girl. And she sends, please don't hurt Brooke. And they reply, as you wish. Riley gets a text from Tyler saying to meet him out back. Fuck. And Riley is chased down an alley and up a ladder while being stabbed. And she's on the roof bleeding out, freaking FaceTiming with Noah. And that is pretty much it in this episode. That was my timer, so that is the 5 minutes that I'm not going to go over any longer, like promised. But let us get into some thoughts. Oh, really quickly, I just feel like I should mention this. Emma's the one that discovers Riley's body on the roof of the police station because she calls her phone. Okay, so thoughts about the episode. Well, next week's episode, I really haven't been able to tell who has been a target yet. We do get Tyler's body back, which is in this episode. They're chasing Tyler's car from the police station, and it crashes into a ravine and blows up. And so the body's very burnt, but it doesn't have a head. So I'm wondering if the cops are going to start piecing this together, or are they just going to close the case? Because eventually more people are going to die. Now, my main thing about the episode that was really, I was just devastated, truly 1000%. If you guys watched last week's, you will know that my number one was Riley. Okay? Like, I just like, it's freaking Riley. They're going to do it. They're going to go and boldly go where no show has gone before. No, they didn't. So it's going to be somebody obvious now because everybody else is a suspect for me. Riley was a suspect because she wasn't a suspect, if that makes sense. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I was devastated. I was like, Emma, you bitch, you chose the wrong person. Let Brooke die, she's a whore. Like, seriously. But I guess from the Scream movies, when they talked about, you know, if you have sex, you're at risk or whatever. Yeah, Riley and Noah were kind of getting it on, so maybe Riley had to die, and I was just devastated. Now, if you've watched the movies, you will know that if they appear to be dead, it doesn't always mean that they are dead, but Riley was pretty dead. I mean, Emma went up and, like, sobbed next to her body, so there's no doubt in my mind that Riley is faking it at this point, unless there's, like, her eyelashes flutter in the next episode and she grabs onto Emma's hand. I don't know. This is just me wishful thinking, guys, because I am distraught. I really don't know what to think anymore. So Kieran has been arrested before? What is up with that? Is that maybe why he had to move to Lakewood to live with his dad? We know that his mother and stepfather died in that car crash. Could he have been driving another car that caused their car to crash? Could it have been intentional? Kieran is just so getting shadier and shadier to me, and I really don't want him to be the killer because he just walked into Lakewood like 2 minutes ago. I mean, you don't know crap about what's going on here. So, I think that is all. Let me just go through and make sure I'm not missing any theories that I wrote down. I don't really think so. Okay. I really want to know what's going on between Jake and Will. Even though I personally would be really pissed if either of them is Ghostface, this is just something that's like pitting them against each other. And like I said, I think it's that they were blackmailing townspeople and that's how they got all this money. But I don't know. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know down below what you think Jake and Will are up to. Now, getting into, I'm going to do top 3 in honor of Riley. So let's have a moment of silence. And when I say a moment, I mean a second. Okay. Coming in at number 3 would be, drum roll please. That was a really crappy drum roll. But coming in at number 3 is going to be a tie, another tie. I know I had one last week. And Jake is still going to be on the leaderboard along with Audrey. For some reason, she's standing out to me this week. I really don't have a concrete proof about Audrey. Jake he seems like he could have a lot of motivation. His dad has money, we know this, but Will could also have the same motivation that Jake could, so this could easily be interchangeable. My number 3 suspects are kind of weak because I want to focus on my 1 and 2 at this point. But yeah, so it could either, that's 3 people. But I think if I had to pick 1 for number 3, I would go with Jake. Coming in at number 2 is Kevin. Kevin is Emma's father, and he is still very, very much on my radar. The killer wants Emma to trust him. And I feel like Emma doesn't really have a relationship with her father, so maybe he is trying to come and win her trust again. And the sheriff's looking for him, which why wouldn't he just come forward by now? You know what I mean? If the sheriff is looking so hard for him. And coming in at number 1 is the sheriff. Sheriff No Name. Oh, yes, I have my eye on this guy. I think he could easily be Brandon James's older brother, Troy, which is what a lot of people are thinking at this point, and I am no different. Maybe he's working as a tag team with his son. I'm not sure if they're going to do individual or multiple killers yet, but if it is individual, it's just the sheriff, but if it is a team, I think it would be sheriff and his son. What do you guys think? I want to know who your number 3 suspects are. Now, a potential spoilery thing about when we will discover the identity of Ghostface. So, it's not really a spoiler. There's no names. It's just more of a time of when we will discover who they are. So, if you don't want to hear any spoilers at all, thank you for watching. You can leave this video here. If you want to continue on, I was listening to I believe it was AfterBuzz TV on YouTube, and last week's recap of Scream, they had the actor that plays Will on there. And they were talking about potentially getting renewed for season 2, which they did. They got renewed for season 2. And he was saying, I hope we get renewed for season 2 so that way we can find out who Ghostface is. Oh, great. So I watched this show. I got all excited about being able to find out who it is. And now you're telling me that I won't know by end of season 1. Okay. I'm willing to stick it out for the long haul. I just hope it doesn't go like down the killing route when they're like, who killed Rosie Larson? You'll find out. Oh, fool you. You'll find out in season 2, mid-season finale. Oh, no, it's going to be the end of season 2. You know what I mean? It was just annoying. Hope it's not another Pretty Little Liars situation where it gets dragged out for 5 freaking seasons, because that would piss me off. But yes, that was a little disheartening to hear that we would not find out by the end of season 1. So that is it for this video. If you guys like the 5-minute recap, be sure and let me know down below. And let me know about my questions for this episode. First one being, what do you guys think Jake and Will are up to? What do you think this organization is and what are they doing? And second one being, of course, who are your top 3 suspects? Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week. Yeah. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but I will see you guys next week. Bye.